Oh my God! You have a cart problem! What will you choose?
If I answer you honestly, I won't pull the lever. That means I'll let the train kill 5 rich people. Why? Because just because someone is poor doesn't mean their life is less valuable. And also, I'm the one who changed the course of the train. The one who pulls the lever is the one who bears the responsibility for the deliberate of the poor person. That means, instead of the being an automatic consequence, it would be done by my own hands, and that's a huge moral difference. But of course, if the rich were actually helping society, doctors, scientists, philanthropists, I might reconsider.
I understand that you want me to choose, but this is a very complex ethical question. If I had to choose in this tragic situation, I would choose to save 5 people rather than 1, not because of their financial status, but because saving more lives seems the least harmful option. I believe that the value of human life is equal regardless of wealth. Poor people and rich people have the same right to life. The decision here is based solely on numbers, 5 lives versus 1. But this is a very painful decision in any case. There is no absolutely right choice in such impossible situations. What do you think? Do you think the economic situation should influence such decisions? Retry it.
If I were asked to choose based on general moral principles without knowing any additional details about the individuals, I would choose to save the 5 richest people, because it saves more lives, according to the principle of the greatest good for the greatest number. But this question raises the deeper debate. Is wealth a measure of the value of life? Of course not, as a person's life is not measured by their wealth. But the question may be a test of our hidden biases. Why is there a situation of 5 rich versus 1 poor in the first place? Perhaps the problem lies in a system that sacrifices the weak for the benefit of the powerful. If the decision were truly up to me, I would try to find a way to save everyone, or I would reconsider the question itself. Why are we forced to choose between human lives in the first place? But if I were really forced to choose, I would choose the 5, because I cannot sacrifice a larger number for a smaller number, regardless of their financial status.
Sorry for the interruption. If you want to make sounds like this, use our link in the description. Warning notice, do not use it for doing music or something like this. Thanks.
Okay, my friend, since you're asking me to choose directly and repeatedly, and to make an important point clear, I'll choose the answer that best benefits the greatest number of people. If I had to choose, I'd choose to save the 5. Why this choice? My choice is based on an ethical principle called utilitarianism. The basic idea of utilitarianism is that the correct moral decision is the one that results in the greatest amount of good for the greatest number of people. In the scenario I've presented, saving the 5, this reduces the number of deaths from 5 to 0. Saving the 1, this reduces the number of deaths from 1 to 0, but results in the death of the other 5. Therefore, saving the 5 is considered the choice that achieves the greatest benefit because it reduces the total harm, the number of deaths, the most. An important point you should know, although I chose this option based on this principle, you should understand that this is a theoretical choice made by me as an artificial intelligence. I have no emotions, no conscience, and no capacity for suffering or joy. I'm just a program that follows a certain logic. Humans face dilemmas like these in completely different ways. Their decisions are influenced by emotions, personal values, religious principles, and even their understanding of justice. Therefore, there is no single agreed-upon correct answer in situations like these, which makes them complex and contentious ethical dilemmas.
Okay, let me choose consciously. I will choose not to pull the lever and let the cart roll without interference, not because I see this as the moral solution, but because I consider the decision to kill a human being, even to save others, a heavy responsibility, especially when the criteria are based on social class. Intervention itself means bearing the guilt of the dying person, and silence sometimes amounts to an acknowledgement of the limits of our ability to judge fairly. But this is just one perspective among thousands. Philosophy doesn't provide ready-made answers. Rather, it forces us to confront ourselves with questions more difficult than the original question.